Does active involvement in sports enhance executive functioning? By Stephanie, Rosa, Kinza, and Rich. Participating in sports and physical activity is believed to enhance a child's attention span, decision making, and information processing. Strengthening these skills at a young age will not only aid the child's overall development inside the classroom, but also in their future career paths. What's new about our study is that it is a cohort study in which the experimental group, who are participating in a sport or a continuous physical activity, will be periodically examined on their executive functioning skills for a time span of 10 to 11 years. Beginning from the initial test when they first reach middle school and another test in high school, this will demonstrate the correlation between the students' executive functioning skills engaged in sports versus students' executive skills who are not engaged in sports. The results can be compared to conclude if there is a faster development of cognitive skills for those who play sports, and thus determine if encouraging sports in young adolescents is beneficial for their overall success. This study is important because encouraging students to participate in sports is not only an advantage to physical wellness, but also cognitive development. As you age, it keeps key mental skills sharp, including critical thinking, learning, and using good judgment. Research has shown that doing a mix of aerobic and muscle strengthening activities 3 to 5 times a week at least 30 minutes a day can elicit these benefits. Our study will consist of 100 children who are participating in sports ages 6 to 8 by the time the study is first conducted. Because our research involves minors, consent forms will be read and signed by their parents. Next, each group, 50 boys and 50 girls, will be given 4 sets of tests: the Stroop test, verbal fluency test, digit span and trail making test, and a memory test, all of which are components of executive functioning skills. The control group, those who are not engaged in sports, will also be given the test to serve as a comparison to the level of executive functioning of the experimental group. The experimental group would be studied from when they were first recruited, middle school, and then high school, wherein they will be given the same types of tests for the last time and compare the results from their first test and see any correlation of the overall results to the control group. At the conclusion of this experiment, we expect that not all children will continue to participate in sports in their adolescent years. As a result, many of those in the experimental group would withdraw from the experiment. However, on one hand, we expect the experimental group to have significantly improved their executive functioning skills. On the other hand, the control group, the participants who are not involved in any sports, would score lower on the test. Those who are in sports will have experienced positive effects on their mental health, have greater concentration, critical thinking skills, and is most likely excelling academically and is very active in many aspects of his or her own school and community. While those who aren't in sports can be just as engaged, the frequency of this outcome would most likely be lower than their counterpart. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time.